Welcome back to Color Me Impressed. I'm Emily, and today I have a book outlet haul to share with you. So I had actually placed an order on Book Outlet several weeks ago, maybe more towards the beginning of April. And then I saw a bunch of people doing other fun Book Outlet hauls, and I ended up placing a second order. So I have a huge haul that I'd like to show you. And I'm also kind of preparing for a no-spend month in May since it's my birthday month. Why buy myself things when I can have other people buy them for me? Okay, but let's go ahead and jump right into this first book. This is I Love Narwhals. This is a series by Sterling Children's Books. The artwork in this book is done by Jessie Eckel. And I've always been intrigued by these books, but never had a chance to pick one up. I think they have a mermaids one, a unicorns, general coloring. Might have seen a Christmas one somewhere too. So there's a whole bunch of them. And I think they're usually a smaller pocket size, still square, but this is apparently a larger one. This is 8x8. So it's still a small enough size where you could definitely finish one picture in one sitting. It's kind of more of a simple, cutesy style, and I think it's just adorable. And I didn't really think I was a huge narwhal fan, but look how cute this is. I just love all of these images. There's lots of great seasonal ones too. I saw some like winter, Christmassy ones in here. And just general like donuts, so many donuts and cakes, just super fun stuff. Oh, look how cute this is. I just love it. And I like that these are single-sided. There's just different patterns on the backs of each page, so you can use your alcohol markers. Yeah, I just find myself being able, oh God, this would be cute for a birthday coloring. I can just see myself coloring in this and getting a page done pretty quickly. So really looking forward to getting into this book. Again, this is I Love Narwhals by Jessie Eckel. Next up, I picked up A Million Sloths by Lulu Mayo. I'm really becoming obsessed with her books, especially since I've been into crayons and pencils lately, since these are double-sided. Those are the perfect mediums for these books. And Angelina, which is DreamCloud51 over on Instagram, her and I have this ongoing joke that we're the sloth colorists, so I just had to pick up a book about sloths, obviously. Just love, there's several of them with ramen, with just super decadent desserts, so many cute images that we've become accustomed to with Lulu Mayo's work. So I know we've probably seen this book a lot before, but I'm just so excited to finally have it. I'm slowly picking up all of Lulu Mayo's books. So that was A Million Sloths. And then I also picked up A Million Mermaids. I think this book came out last year in 2020, and I love this book. So I'm actually not a huge mermaid person, and I hope people aren't coming after me with pitchforks for saying that. But I think it's because a lot of mermaid books have the mermaids kind of in a very realistic, beautiful style. That's just not always what I want to color. But Lulu Mayo does a great job with these mermaids, making them so cute and just really fun and charming scenes. Oh, I'm just so excited for this book. This would be a great book for mermaid. And I actually really like one image in here that just doesn't seem like the usual Lulu Mayo stuff, but I just think it's stunning. Where is it? Yeah. It's this double page spread, just like all of the the sea creatures in her hair. There's a narwhal. But yeah, so might try to color this first if I'm up to a double spread, but super fun book. Again, I feel like we've all seen this book before, but this is new to me. I'm so excited to have picked it up. Back when I placed this order, there were still a couple other Lulu Mayo books on Book Outlet, so I would definitely check those out. Now this book is called Desert Wonderland. This is by Rachel Reinert, and this is actually a completely new book to me. I've never seen this book before, and right away from the cover, I was just like, okay, these are gonna be amazing images. So I did look up a flip through of her work in this book, and I just thought it was so beautiful. Really into the succulent motif, so this is right up my alley. And then she also has really pretty portraits in here as well. So yeah, I like this style. It's a little bit sketchy. Some of the line art is a little thin, so would have to be mindful of that when using markers, but they're single-sided, and a heavier weight of paper, which will potentially take some water media. I'll have to try that out. But I love the style of her work, and it's detailed enough, but not too simple. It's kind of like the right balance of things, you know? I don't find this super intimidating. I'm really looking forward to getting into this book. And I will leave all of the links for these books down below. If I can find them on Book Outlet, I'll try to leave a link to Book Outlet. If not, I will leave an Amazon link. So that was Desert Wonderland by Rachel Reinert. Okay, so this is my first Kerby Rosanes book. This is Geomorphia, and I've been wanting a Kerby book for a very long time, but I'm always so intimidated by his work, and that's why I picked up Geomorphia, because it is single-sided, so I can use my alcohol markers maybe as a base with some pencil for shading over the top. It's still intimidating, even with the single-sided aspect of this book. So don't know when I will be getting into this. I'm hoping in May. I'm gonna make it a goal for myself to get into this book in May. But I think we've all seen and loved completed pages from this book, so I'm really excited to have this. And I'm hoping to get the other single-sided book from Kerby as well. I think it's, what is it, Phantomorphia or something? So that was Geomorphia by Kerby Rosanes. Next up, I picked up the Outlander official coloring book. This says Diana Gabaldon, which is the author of Outlander, but I think the illustrators are in here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, I don't recognize a lot of these illustrators. I do recognize Tomislav Tomic. Is that how you say it? Tomislav Tomic. So yeah, I've been seeing this book here and there, on and off again on Book Outlet, and every time I kind of slept on it. So finally I managed to get it when it was in stock, and I really like this book. I'm not a huge fan of the movie or TV show coloring books. They tend to be way too intricate for me. I'm not a huge fan of the style usually. But I think this book really benefits from having multiple illustrators, because unlike other, I guess, adaptation coloring books, I would say, that usually all tend to have the same style, there is very clearly different styles of art in this book. Let's see. And I think that's really cool. You know, you don't see that much in these types of books. I think I prefer, see, this is a little bit more, way more detailed than this last page, and I obviously would prefer something more like this, but everything is just so nice in this book. And then they are essentially single-sided, just because the left-hand side is just quotes from the books. So there are some images in here that I probably won't color, but there were enough in here where I thought it's worth picking up, because I love Outlander. So, very, very beautiful book. This is Outlander. Okay, so this next book was a completely blind purchase. I could not find any flip-throughs anywhere of this book. This is from Zendoodle Colorscapes. It's called Mindful Journey, Inspiring Paths to Color and Display. And the illustrator is Nikolett Corley. So here's the front, here's the back. I keep forgetting to show the back. I'm not sure if that's something people want to see. So I might be doing a flip through of this book just so that everyone kind of knows what it looks like, but I had no idea what to expect. I was kind of expecting a bunch of flowers and pathways, and it does have some of that stuff, but there's just a lot of random things in here as well. So we have some wildlife, bees. Yeah, just things I wasn't expecting. And I think, so this says inspiring paths to color and display. I don't know, I just noticed that most of the pages have kind of these frames around. Maybe that's what they're referring to when they say paths. And some of it is Zendoodle-y, you know, it is a Zendoodle book. But yeah, like this is too much. But there are some really, really cool images. That's kind of cool. And this also is kind of a smaller book, maybe, I'm so bad with measurements. It looks like a 10 by 10 or 8 by 8. It's a square book. Yeah, look how pretty this is. I was just really intrigued by this book. I think this is a good one if you want to try one of these Zendoodle books, because this has a lot of variety, lots of different images in here. So pretty. Ooh, like that one. See, I would not expect this to be in this book. Very cool. Very cool things in here. Mindful Journey by Nikolett Corley. Yeah, I think if you can find this for a good price, pick it up. It's an interesting book. And I've already colored in this other Zendoodle book. This is Spring Awakening Color by Number by Deborah Muller. And I've been seeing this one around a little bit. But of course I love Deborah Muller and I love Color by Number, so this was a no-brainer to pick up. And the pictures that I've done in here so far, I'm a little, I don't know if I like the color palettes. I don't know if I'm just bad at choosing colors, which is possible. But they were a little darker than I would imagine for some spring pictures. But I still think Deborah Muller's artwork is so pretty in this. And this is something different than when I own. A lot of the books that I own from her are just people. So this is cool to get some nature. Oops, sneak peek. Another sneak peek. Oh, God. So yeah, it's cool to get some animals and nature, things like that. So, and then with the Zendoodle books, it has the kind of answer key or the completed pages in the back, along with the color palette that flips out, which I'm really enjoying with this book, having that color palette. So that when you're coloring, you can have it to your side here on every single page. I really like that feature about these books. So that was Spring Awakening by Deborah Muller. So the next two books are actually not really full coloring books. They're the Jane Davenport Happy Hour art journals. I always see these on Book Outlet, mainly this Whimsical Girls one. This Whimsical and Wild I don't usually see, but I thought it was so cute because it's a lot of animals. So I always eye these and put them in my cart, and then I end up not getting them. And I thought, you know what? I have a bunch of supplies that I really want to try, and these would be great books to do that in. So let me show you this first one here, Whimsical Girls. So in these books, there are different types of paper. So I think this is probably, yeah, marker papers, so kind of smooth here. Then there's a big section with craft paper. And then we get to, this just seems like colored pencil. Coloring paper has a little bit more tooth than the marker paper. Look at just how gorgeous these illustrations are though. So I think this is a really good book for trying out supplies in, because it does have coloring pages in it. I was worried that they wouldn't have any coloring pages, but it does have coloring pages, and especially at pages like this, you could just color a little thing and see maybe some blends or things like that. You can practice hair and skin. So I think we're still on the coloring paper. Yeah, I just really enjoy these books. And another cute feature about these, there's a page somewhere around here. Let me find it. Yeah, there's this little happy hour timesheet. So it's kind of trying to inspire you to work on your art and your creativity for an hour each week. So however you can kind of fit that into your week to equal 1 hour, that's kind of the goal of these art journals. So you can keep track of that on this page, which is super fun. Let me see what other paper was in here. Coloring paper, craft paper, marker paper, watercolor paper. Oh, I missed that. Collage paper, and then there's stickers at the back. Let's see. Some stickers. Collage paper seems like very thin, almost like origami paper. Oh yeah, beautiful watercolor paper. So I think if you're like me and you have some supplies that you've been wanting to try but maybe are nervous about ruining a coloring page, this would be a great option for you. There's some great color inspiration in here as well, just super fun things. So I'm really happy to have picked up this Whimsical Girls, Jane Davenport book. And then I'll just quickly flip through the illustrations in the Whimsical and Wild. Again, this has different types of paper. Let me see if they are the same as the other one. Coloring paper, craft paper, mixed media paper, okay. Watercolor paper, collage paper, and sticker sheet. So I think the difference here is instead of marker paper, they gave us mixed media paper, which would work probably for markers as well. So you'll see that this has much more of a focus on animals, but still has the beautiful portraits that are known for, or that Jane Davenport is known for. So pretty. Just even looking through these books is fun to have these for that reason. It's really just an art book, and then you can add your own color, of course. Oh, look how this, so cute. And that's another thing I like about these books as well, is a lot of times they'll have kind of an original art piece and then it is enlarged or just transferred to black and white for you to add your own color and be inspired by the original art on the other side. Beautiful book. So I'm glad to have this one as well to experiment with. That was Whimsical and Wild by Jane Davenport. My last two books are the big boys. Color Quest, the original, and then Cityscapes. I believe there's one more as well. I can't remember what it is. And everyone who always talks about these books being big, I honestly didn't realize how big. I mean, I can't even, it just keeps going. Huge. Can I fit it in the frame this way? Not even. So this is definitely a challenge. And I would say that this original Color Quest book with the tiger on the front is a little bit easier than Cityscape. So let me show you what the Tiger Color Quest looks like. This is with art by Joanna Webster. So for those of you who aren't familiar, these books have different shapes on each page. Apologies, it's hard to fit the page in here. So this has triangles, there's some squares and hexagons, whole bunch of fun stuff, and then the color palettes are on the left side here. And what I'm really liking about this book so far is that the color palettes are pretty easy for color matching. They're not too big. And I mean, this is a good example that the colors aren't always super close to one another. I find that in a lot of, especially those Disney color by numbers, some of the colors are just so close to each other that it's kind of hard to color match. So these, you know, I would have no problem finding these. I've been using my Bic intensities for this. And I would have no problem finding some colors for most of these. So it's cool. And then here are the solutions. Look away if you don't want to know. So I'm actually thinking, I don't know. I've been scheduling some buddy colors and we've been using the back to kind of determine which ones, but maybe in between those, I might just go and try coloring without knowing what it is. I think that would be fun. Except I think is there a butterfly somewhere? Yeah, there's a butterfly in here and I'd be scared. So who knows? I might just be lying, but definitely a fun book, but be prepared if you pick this up that it's huge. Lastly, here's the Cityscapes one. Now this one is by John Woodcock. And this one, I don't even know if the other book had this. This is literally like a mosaic style. It's not shapes like the others that we saw, but then there are some of the shapes. These are squares, other mosaic style. Triangles. Yeah, interesting. So this book is a lot more detailed. But the color palettes still seem similar to the last book. So don't foresee any color matching issues here. So yeah, I think the major differences are that they had this mosaic style and then just some of them seem to be a little bit more intricate, or maybe it's just the mosaic style that looks more intimidating. So here are the back solutions. Lots of fun landmarks and such. They will be so pretty once they're done. Gorgeous. So I'm really happy to have this book. Again, I was just not prepared for how large they are. So these are definitely some fun challenges to do. And that is the last book that I had. So let's see, how many books did I pick up? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books I picked up. And maybe that's not a lot for others, but that's a lot for me because I'm a sloth colorist. So really excited to try out these books, hoping to set some goals for myself to actually color in these in May and beyond. So thank you again for watching and subscribing and hitting that like button. If you want flip-throughs of any of these books, please leave me a comment below and I'd be happy to do that for you. And again, feel free to check out the description box for the links to all of these books. Thanks so much. Talk soon.